Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. I don't know if we call this daily news anymore because it's still non-daily daily news on Monday the 3rd of October, the first one of October. I can definitely tell you that. I'm joined by Jamie in the studio today. We're going to go through some news. Obviously, it's a post-weekend news show, but there's not much about the match because the final word is going to get recorded later on. It's going to be on the website, £2 a month, first month free. It's about an hour long now because we're winning. We like to massage and bathe in all the glory of Liverpool victories. So that's going to be great to go over there. Paul and Chris will be on that, talking about that. And also, it is Klopp week because it is a year since Jurgen Klopp became our manager. We've got tons of brilliant content going out on all our platforms, from the stat box, which goes out on Instagram and Facebook, to two specials that are going to be on the website. Chris has been drawing on glass again to do his Klopp's tactics revisited. It's amazing. Like, some of the stuff I was helping him film it, and some of the stuff I learned from watching it. It's brilliant. If you want to know what gegenpressing is, if you want to know what layaway oriented counter-attack pressing is, those are 5 words that I didn't know existed in that structure until I'd watched him film it. And he analyses, the best thing for me is he analyses the Liverpool goal. It's a goal that we saw our team score consistently. It's brilliant. It's going to be out later in the week. We've got a graphic that may and may not have been completed by the time of filming. Tom's giving me this signal to tell you when those shows are going to be out. But even though we're going to come on to this, Jurgen Klopp doesn't want us to celebrate it. I think we do, because we've had a good year. So, first bit of news is a bit of sad news. Rigobert Song, former Liverpool player, is in critical condition in Cameroon after a brain aneurysm. So he's in hospital at the moment. He's only 40 years old. He only played 35 games for Liverpool, but I've got strong affection memories for him because he was around about the time that I first got into really following Liverpool. He was one of Gerard Houlier's first signings back in 1999. Obviously, Jamie being a lot younger, we were talking off camera, you don't really remember him that way. No, you obviously know his nephew, Alex Song.
Yeah.
And it's one of those ones that he popped out when Alex Song popped up. You thought, okay, is it a traditional Cameroonian name? I know he is related to Rigobert. I remember him he excited me because he was very different. Like, he came in and he was a Cameroon player back when the league wasn't filled with African footballers, and it wasn't filled with... Liverpool weren't, particularly over the Norwegians, we didn't have that many foreign footballers. I think he was officially Houlier's third signing, but he was one of the first ones who actually got a consistent run in the first team. So it was intriguing to see what type of footballer Gerard Houllier was going to bring to the club. And he played right back, but I know he could also play on as a centre-back or the right of a free at the back, and he went on and played centre-back for West Ham, I think. And he just seemed to be quite mad. He was a bit like a Kolo Touré light, because he was comfortable on the ball at centre-back or at right-back position, and he'd sometimes just go off on these mad runs. Yeah. And it was just when you get those footballers that are... He defines cult hero. He's in there with Titi Kamara and Eric Meyer, because he wasn't great, but there's an affection for him there. And I think obviously we want to pass our well wishes onto his family and to himself for a recovery, from the Redmen TV. But what's great about a club like Liverpool Football Club, and when you play for a club like that, is you become part of a family, you become part of a dynasty. So there's been some really nice comments made by former players of his. So I'm just going to read a couple of them. They'll be up on the screen because Tom is going to put them in. So...
If you favourited them.
I've screen grabbed them for you, Tom, don't worry. So David Thompson firstly put a picture out of him on Instagram and then wrote, "One of the funniest, nicest, happiest men you could meet. Get well soon." Fowler wrote, "Hope he pulls through." Carragher wrote, "Hope everything ends up okay." Stan Collymore put, "Peace and love to all his family." And Patrick Berger wrote, "Get well soon, buddy." And it ultimately it's one of these things that breaks away from football, isn't it? Ultimately football's quite trivial. He's a 40 years old man who's had a brain aneurysm. It's far too young, and you want him to pull through, and we hope that he actually, he pulls through and comes to see a Liverpool game at Anfield, and we bring him on the pitch at half time and show our support and show that we're happy that he did it. Let's move on to something a little bit much more trivial and happy. Henderson won it'll be September goal of the month, so the BBC goal of the month. Do you think it was a worthy goal?
Definitely, yeah. It was an absolute cracking goal. Top corner against Chelsea as well, at Stamford Bridge. You couldn't get better than that. I mean, that's probably one of the best goals I've seen scored by a Liverpool player at the Bridge, definitely in recent years. It was a Xhaka that came second and Theo Walcott that came third for us, so it's definitely deserved.
Xhaka's one against Hull, Walcott's goal against Chelsea came third, and Antonio's goal against Watford came fourth. They were all great goals. I think what you've got to look at it is context as well. We ended up winning that game 2-1, so it was the winning goal. It was just before half-time, so it effectively killed them off.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic goal. And also the surprise, like, that goal not only, like, if you watched our story of the match and our goal reactions, you see how we celebrated it. It also gave us the Grujic meme, like anything that can make anything that can make a fellow professional footballer, his face doesn't look like that. But so it's actually interesting because that means we're 2 for 2. Because Mane's goal against Arsenal won the August goal of the month. Again, do you think that was a deserved goal?
Definitely for the month. I think that's better than Henderson's.
Do you?
I think it is. It's just the way that he used his pace down the right side, his strength to get in between the two Arsenal defenders and then put it in the top corner against Petr Cech, who's not a small guy in goal. It's an absolute cracking goal. Like, Henderson's is amazing, no doubt, but for Mane to do that as a new club in one of the first game of the season, absolutely outstanding.
So is Mane's your favourite goal that we've scored this season?
Yeah.
Do you think it's the best?
Definitely. And hopefully, it's not the only one.
Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain. I actually think I'd probably pick a goal that wasn't that. Which I'm wrong, obviously, because they've been voted goal of the month. So it should our best goal this season should actually be either Mane or Henderson. But I think Lallana's one against Arsenal. Just because it was a great Divine Aldum chip back.
It was all the passes before.
Yeah,
and all that as well.
I thought that one. But actually, our goal of the month, we could be dominating goal of the month. We could have we only had one in there with Henderson. But if you actually think about some of the goals we've scored, there's not many scruffy or scrappy goals. We've actually scored great team goals, like the Walcott goal was off the back of a great team move.
Yeah.
So ours could fit into that, and then there's been actually some great. Like Coutinho's free kick against Arsenal.
Yeah, that was.
What a goal that is, and Coutinho's goal the other week was a great, like the goal against Hull. That's a fucking fantastic goal. So along those lines, we've won goal of the month twice. Are we officially not under the radar anymore?
I think we wasn't under the radar since we battered Arsenal. Since we scored 4. At the Emirates, I think we weren't going to be under the radar. We never are anyway with Liverpool. We're never going to be under the radar. Even like when we came second a few years ago, we was tipped for the title, like in November and stuff like that. And then obviously what happened. But yeah, we're never going to go under the radar.
Yeah,
it's just Liverpool. We never do it.
Yeah. Do you think? Because again, there's an element. I agree because we're Liverpool, so we're always going to be in the mix. Even if we've had a terrible season, people will talk about us.
Yeah.
But there was no one seriously taking us for title contenders. If you remove yourself from the red bubble, and I don't even think Liverpool fans were, but Tottenham, Arsenal, City, United with Mourinho and Ibrahimovic and Mkhitaryan and Pogba coming in, Chelsea with Conte, people were talking them up before they came to Liverpool. And then over the last few weeks, you've seen us go to second favourites. I don't know what the odds are, but I'm assuming since City have lost a game and we've won a game, those odds would have shortened even more.
Yeah.
Tottenham are going under the radar. I don't think, and again, are they not now because they've beat City? But it's interesting because there will be a shift. The pressure is going to come onto us, whether it's to score amazing goals to try and get October's goal of the month and then November's goal of the month, or in the actual more seriousness, we're no longer going to be the team who can't put... Like, the Burnley game helped and hindered us in that sense.
Yeah, I've been thinking like that because, like, if we would have won that game, we would have been 3 points better off. We would have been up there, even further up the league. And then people would have been actually saying, shorten the odds down, we're actually challenging for the title, and would have been way more pressure on us.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think is what we needed.
Exactly, sooner. And also, if we'd have like you say, if we'd have won the Burnley game, we'd have exactly the same... No, we wouldn't. We'd have a better record than City, because City have got beat 1-1, haven't we? We'd have won one, which is our lost one, and then we'd have drew against Tottenham. Yeah. So we'd have probably been, top or around about that. And then also the thing with that is it at least put that question mark of, but Liverpool can't do it against teams like Burnley in there, which we've now put to bed with the Hull and the Swansea performance, a home and an away performance. again, it'll rear its head. We're going to lose games. Football clubs lose games, but at least it didn't. Like second week of the season, it could have been teams going, God, these are going to win the league, and I don't think our players have ever had to deal with that type of pressure, and it's something that they're going to have. But I hope it comes around about March, as opposed to like as long as it's not October where they've got that pressure. Do you think there's players in this team who can actually deal with that pressure?
I think players like Henderson and Lucas that were in the title challenge from 13-14, obviously Lucas back in 08-09, I think the experience from them 2 seasons going second in the league, I think that'll help Henderson as a captain that he is now, obviously not being a captain in the 13-14 season. I think it'll really help him experiencing what he did during that season for this season. Whether it is going to be a title challenge for us or whether it's top 4 or whatever, it'll really help him.
Yeah, and you can actually see that in the way he's playing on the pitch. He's really impressed me the last few weeks. I had doubts about him being a future Liverpool captain just because he wasn't picked by Klopp and he wasn't in the team. And you actually look at him, he's actually putting captain's performances. What do you think? Do you think that we are officially no longer flying under the radar? Do you think that's going to help or hinder us? Do you just not care? Do you just want us to keep smashing teams and smashing great goals in and winning goal of the month on BBC every month or not? And also, what was your favourite goal? Do you think Mane's and Henderson's have been our best 2, or is there another goal that you think should have been mentioned in that, or it was better? And the last bit, essentially, basically, as I said at the beginning of the show, it is Klopp week. We are doing it as Jurgen Klopp week. It's a year on for him. We are doing loads of content to revisit it. It's not just because it was an international break. It's not because we've got nothing to talk about when Liverpool don't play. But ultimately, yeah, it's a year on, and this club's massively changed, hasn't it, in a year? You know, I know you've done a show which is going to go out on the website today where you're talking about Jurgen Klopp, and there's like, ultimately, you've got the fact that we playing very different, and as fans we're feeling very different about football, about Jurgen Klopp and about Liverpool football at the moment. He's come out and said, my year is what, the 8th of October, yes, we will not celebrate. I can tell you that. Hopefully nobody brings me a cake. So he's distinctively downplaying it. He's doing the opposite of what we're doing. What do you think about that? Do you think that's right for him to downplay it? Do you think he should celebrate?
That's Klopp though, isn't it? He's not one to make a big thing about it. When he came into his first press conference, he said, I'm the normal one. That was his intention, to play things down. He doesn't want to be like a Jose Mourinho and say he's the special one, he's this and that. He's trying to play it down, he's trying to go under the radar type of thing. So I think that's right for him to do that, and it's what we'd expect of him as well. Yeah,
but do you think as fans we are right to look back at it and actually take stock and think about where we are we in a better position or not? Or should we just be like, well, look, ultimately it's only 7 games into the season. The fact that it's a year on.
I think it's a good thing to look back on it, considering what he's done. He got us to the Europa League final, he got us to the Capital One Cup final. I think he's done really, really well for his first year in charge. But there's, at the end of the day, we haven't got a trophy. But, it's good to look back, considering we got the international break. But yeah, I think it's good, but that's about it.
It's strange, isn't it? Because does it feel like more than a year or less than a year to you?
I think it's flown by. Definitely, yeah.
Because I'm the opposite, and maybe it's because obviously working for the Redmen and covering it. So it's shocking to me that this time last year we just drew 1-1 at Goodison. Around about this time last year. Game, So we just drew 1-1. I went to meet Chris for a drink in town. Got on a train, didn't have any phone signal, got off the train and had 5 voicemails off him telling him that Rodgers had been sacked. And I was like, what? Like, that's just insane. And then we entered a week where we could have been sitting here doing Ancelotti week, because Ancelotti was heavily rumoured, and we did stat shows and we researched Ancelotti and who's the next manager going to be. And one of the things that I think about it really decisively, and if you watch the transfer special where I criticised FSG for bringing in a profit and not buying the players, but in another level, I actually really have to praise FSG, because it was like sacked Rodgers on Sunday. Tuesday there was Klopp rumours. He was announced by the Thursday.
Yeah, it was so quick the way that they done it,
and it was amazingly decisive. And then ultimately you saw that first interview with Jurgen Klopp that LFC TV, the exclusive, did, and he's talking about Liverpool fans need to take the baggage off the back, and if you speak to me here in 4 years' time, I believe we'll be talking about at least one league title. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, definitely. Like, Jurgen Klopp has got a plan. He knows what he's doing with all of his backroom staff. He knows what players to bring in. And I think he is the right man to take us forward. And even if we don't win a trophy this season, if we get close, whether we get to like the FA Cup final, the Capital One Cup final, as long as we get in the top 4, as long as he's making progress, I think we're going to be fine under him, definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. I agree with that. I think progress. Ultimately, he's signed a new contract, so he's here for 6 more years. Let's enjoy him. Let's enjoy the football that we're playing. Ultimately, you're looking at one bad performance this season, and that's away at Burnley. If the league carries on like that, and we look back at like 2 or 3 performances that we didn't turn up in, no matter where we finish, you've got to be proud of the lads, because they're playing really well. The type of football that he makes them play means that they have to run the hearts out. They're running more miles, so there's nothing you can really be critical of. The result will, the end result, the trophies will fall for Tua or not. But ultimately, as long as they play hard and they give their all for the shirt and they're playing good football, what more could you want? So so that's Klopp Week, the beginning of Klopp Week this week. We've got a show going on the website again. Go over there. It is £2 a month. You get free shows. I don't know why I'm doing there. I'm just doing my 9 times table. You get 3 hour-long around subscriber shows a week for that. It's the first month is free, so what have you got to lose by going over there? Like I say, it's Klopp Week, so it's going to be a lot of talk about Jurgen Klopp coming up on YouTube during Klopp Week. We've got the Dortmund fans view, so I don't know the Dortmund fan's name or the channel he is from, but I know that it is amazing because Tom edited it, and he was meant to take around about a 30-minute video down to a smaller, compact YouTube size. And he said he just couldn't do it. It's around about 24 minutes, Tom?
Something like that. I might be weird.
About 20 to 24 minutes. And it is literally, we went round the office, we asked everyone who appears on the Redmen TV to say, what would you ask a Dortmund fan about Jurgen Klopp? You've got this chance, you can ask, you can grill him, you can find stuff out. And we asked him all those questions, and he was really, really good. And it's a very, 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 very good watch. You will learn a lot about Jurgen Klopp. And also little things that you might have thought about Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool will get reaffirmed because so you can basically pat yourself on the back because you were thinking the right things. So Klopp Week this week, go over to the website, subscribe to this channel, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, comment below on anything that we've suggested you to comment, and we will see you back through the week.